be able to drag it around if you don't, if you've already done this and it's working right. BMI calculations, a lot of them are coming out to 0. And if you do them, there's a couple of different things you can do. If you do them the standard way, I think let's do our public. Oops, got to insert on. So we do class BMI. So if we have our work set up, public static void main string args. So if we have our work set up like this, let's come up with variables height equals, and I'll just give it, some values here. And equals 240. And then BMI is here. All right, so if BMI, I think it's the whole thing, which is H divided by, what is it, weight squared, right? Is it the other way around? Weight divided by height squared. Divided by H times H. So this is a broken down version, or like a simplified version. Yours is gonna have to, you're gonna have to add some things to yours. So I'm gonna print out BMI. So look, if I run this, oh wait, hang on. So it's yeah, so it's gonna be weight divided by this, and then this entire thing times, what is it, 740? Is it what? 730. 730?
Oh, I mean 703.
Huh? I think it's 740. It doesn't really matter. So if I take this times 740 and I run it, what happened? What'd we get? So I forgot to go int BMI. So if I do this, comes up with 0. Does anybody know why it comes up with 0? Okay, so I'll explain it to you. The int variable does not, it's an integer, so it will not hold what kind of data? It won't hold any decimal data. Anything past the decimal point, what it's going to do is just cut it off. So the result of this, right, is going to be less than 1. It's going to have some decimal data, but when it gets put into an int variable, it's going to see it, especially since you use 2 integers here, it's going to see it as 0 because it's less than 1. So it's going to take everything past that decimal point that would go into the result of this, and it's just going to throw it out. Okay? So 0 times 740 is what? 0, still 0. It could be 740 million. But if I change these to doubles, double carries what? Yeah, it carries any, what do they call that? Real number? I failed math. So if I change everything to doubles though, oh, I get a good BMI. Does that make sense? The other way you could get around it is you could leave it with ints. And if you're smart about how you put this together, you could take this 740 and you could just multiply it by the the numerator. There you go. There's my 3rd grade math education. And you get somewhat of a reasonable BMI, but it won't be as precise. Does that make sense? So either one of those things will kind of work. It's just whichever one you try to do. I would probably get used to doing it with the doubles, just because it's the precision's better. And